Good day to you, and thanks for joining me today. I'm sharing my greenhouse with you and its progress. If you're new to my channel, I thank you for joining me. If you're a returning fan, subscriber, my member, big shout out to you. I'm Spenta. I love nature, I love gardening, and I live in USDA Zone 7. And today I have some tips with you, sharing some tips on how to keep a successful greenhouse. Whether you're wanting to keep your plants over winter, if they're annuals like mine, because I live in USDA Zone 7, my weather gets very cold. Right now, I have had weather that's below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and 30 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold for pepper, for tomatoes, and for lots of other plants such as ginger, avocado. Any kind of tropical plant does not do well, neither do flowers, does not do well when the first frost comes, or the second, or the third, or fourth. However, my gardens are doing great right now, and that's because of proper garden planning. You have to, in order, if you're a beginner gardener, make sure you plan what you're going to plant, and make sure you have the proper soil for it. I always tell everybody about soil, light, climate, and also you have to feed your plants. Your plants can't survive without food. Just like you, they need food. If you expect them to have lots of produce on them, just like mine does right here inside of a greenhouse, that's what you have to do. You have to feed your plants. You see back over there, there are some sprouts. Those right there are sprouts from herbs that are annual herbs. And back there I have a lime tree started and an avocado tree. This is my pepper plants, and I have tomatoes on my tomato plants, and I have tomato flowers right there. So you could do the same thing as me. You could have this if you live in a smaller area, or if you're wanting to keep your plants over the winter, or if you want to save, let's say you had 2 peppers that were your favorite pepper plants out of your summer gardens, and those are the 2 that you want to save, and you know your weather can't handle it, then I highly recommend a greenhouse. It's quite easy to move plants. I've shared videos on overwintering, which is a different thing on its own, and I've shared a video on transplanting. Let's discuss real quick what happens when you transplant peppers. Okay, this right here is a mature pepper right here. This here is a mature pepper. It's mature because not because okay, so if I go back, it's mature not because it's red. It's mature because it's reached a size and it is also red. This is a Mexi Bell. It's a spicy pepper, so it's doing really good. Here I have some Tabascos and I have some Cayennes over here, and I know they wouldn't have made it past this frost I had, and every year we get this cold weather, cold coming its way. And here is my cayenne pepper right for you right here. It's doing really good. It's a good size right there so far. So it's a baby cayenne. It's growing. And over here there is a sample of one of my peppers, and that's my scorpion pepper that I saved out of the ground this year. So my scorpion pepper's out, and I have lots of peppers all over the place. Here we go. Beauty. I love spice. My goal is to actually cultivate the spiciest pepper. So that's one of my goals. That's my ginger right there, another plant right there. That's actually a Chinese pepper. So if you're planning on saving your plants, definitely recommend by me for sure a greenhouse. I can't believe that it actually kept this type of annual past that cool climate. Get a greenhouse. The key tip to a greenhouse is to keep humidity in here. Keep it warm. Humidity makes it warm. You see, those are herbs that I can't grow in my gardens. Right now, I have savory, lavender, rosemary, sage, chives. I have all of those. Bok choy. I have lettuce, spinach. All of that is growing just fine in my 12 o'clock herbal garden. Though dill and cilantro, they won't be growing. Basil or sweet basil, Thai basil, they won't be growing. So those are when a greenhouse is good for. Also, a greenhouse is good for starting seedlings, just like you see over there, and that's what I've done. It's good to start that with a greenhouse. Key tips: keep it moist, keep humid, keep it, you have to keep the humidity just right. If the humidity gets, if it's too humid, what's going to happen is you're going to have mold on your plants. And how you know that is very simple. Just water your plants a couple of times a week, and make sure that you close your, make sure that this greenhouse, I have actually opened it for you, but I actually close mine the whole time. So it will actually be a closed greenhouse, you see. So make sure you close it. Make sure when you transplant plants out of the ground to transplant it 72 hours to actually, excuse me, not to transplant, prior to transplanting it, 72 hours prior to transplanting it. Make sure you water the plants. Adding water actually helps because your soil temperature has already cooled off. If you're in the end of summer and beginning of the fall season, your temperature already cooled off and your soil temperature also cools down. And the growth of these depends very, very much so on the soil temperature. So the soil temperature is important. Therefore, keeping it warm in here throughout the cold nights is also important. Blankets, put a blanket over your greenhouse if you must. Put a tray under it. I actually am going to work on making a tray for the bottom of my greenhouse because I know it will keep it warmer throughout the winter. Winter time, it'll even be cooler here. I will have negative 17 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures, so I need to make sure that this is boosted for that time, and that's what I'm going to do, is add something in the bottom of it, basically keep it insulated. And I also have some insulation that I have purchased, and I'm going to add it to the sides. Then I will remove it when I water my plants. Make sure you stick your finger, the rule of thumb is to take two fingers and stick this all the way down right here. See, I'm making sure I go all the way down, and here you see if I touch it, there's dirt. The reason for that is it doesn't need any more water. Oh, there is another one. How beautiful. Let's see if I can share it on camera with you. Only I can see its beauty. There you go. There is another one, and I have yellow cayenne. I have a variety of cayenne. So if you're wanting to keep your plants and actually save them, consider investing in a greenhouse. If you're wanting to start seedlings early, prior to springtime, and you're wanting to start them in the winter, consider a greenhouse. And if you're wanting to grow plants, however, you live in a small area and you don't want to create a garden space, then consider investing in a greenhouse. Just make sure to keep the pH of your soil at 7, which is neutral, and give it adequate water. Make sure that it's not too moist. If it gets too moist, the roots will rot. I'm Spenta. I thank you for watching my share, and I wish you a beautiful day and happy gardening. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to comment. I will get back with you in a timely manner. If you have any gardening questions in regards to any zones or where you live, I will be able to answer those questions. I also save my seeds because I'm the cultivator of seeds and spices, and I sell those throughout the year. So if you're interested in seeds, let me know. Have a beautiful day and happy gardening.